So today I'm filming this from my bed, literally. As you know from yesterday's video, I said to you that I wasn't feeling very well and I went to the doctors. And yes, my doctor thinks I've got a virus and I've also got to go for bloods, which I've already booked to go and have done in a couple of weeks' time. When I actually left the doctor's surgery and got back to my car, I had a missed call from my aunt, frantically trying to get hold of me. Now, my aunt doesn't live here in Wales. She lives in Luton, so she lives quite a distance away from me. And the long story short is my father, she suspected at the time to be having a heart attack. So as you can appreciate, when I got into the car yesterday, I wasn't certainly expecting to have that type of phone call, the message left on my phone. And I then left straight away to get to my father, who lives about 20 miles away from where I live. When I got there, he was having a heart attack. He basically had actually been having a heart attack for 2 days. He just didn't realize that it was actually a heart attack he was experiencing. In his, how do I say this without trying to sound harsh, but let's just say he doesn't have much insight or knowledge or realization in his capacity of how he deals with things. About medical emergencies and things like that. He should have really called an ambulance back on Monday, and he didn't. So when I got there, he was full blown in having a heart attack. And the reason why I know this is because I have worked in general hospitals. I've worked in cardiac in different hospitals, and respiratory and so forth. So I've certainly seen patients look really poorly that have had triple bypass surgeries and all sorts of things, so I've certainly experienced that. So when I saw my father, yeah, it was 100% definite. I could see that was happening. And I basically stayed with my father until the ambulance arrived and, assessed him, etc. So fast forward now, long story short, my father was taken to hospital as an emergency. So the blues and twos were going, and he was rushed straight into theatre. And after carrying out a procedure where they track the dye after swallowing certain tablets and things, they could see the blockages in his heart. Now, so far, they found 2 blockages. There was a big blockage in one of his valves in his heart, which they fitted 2 stents into. And then they've also said that they want to do more surgery on him in a couple of days' time. So my father is currently in cardiac in hospital, in Morrison Hospital in Swansea, where he's in the right place. So when I say life is short, guys, you've really got to think about things like this, because you never know when this is going to happen. And it's certainly more than a wake-up call. I mean, I already knew that I needed to do something to change my life. And yeah, so yeah, it's also brought things again back into perspective. It's also made me grateful that I have the strength in me to carry on, to keep going. And it's also reconfirmed to me about what my thought processes are right for me. And despite going through menopause and functioning and not functioning when I want, and all sorts of things going on with the hormones all over the place, it's just pushed on to me, not only to be there for my father, of course, but you never know when things are going to change. You never know when that person may not be there anymore. And it made me realize even more that, yeah, I definitely think and feel what I'm doing is right for me, as I said, and creating businesses online, doing content creation, the things that I love, the things I enjoy, the things that I relate to in my way is definitely for me. And I need to go all hog, all in, and keep going. So hence why I'm in bed, because I'm absolutely shattered, if I'm honest. It was quite an emotional day yesterday, and I'm going to be getting up soon. I've got a cup of tea there with next to my Olibus oil, because obviously I'm not well. So as much as I don't want to really be in the hospital, I just want to go there and check in on my dad. I think it's just, for me, peace of mind. I won't get too close to him or anything. I just, be by the end of his bed, basically, and visit him for a while, and then update family, my sister and my aunt, who was the one that called me. So I am grateful for her, for being on the ball, because she was absolutely frantic yesterday. And it's never nice having a phone call like that. Do you know what I mean? And sadly, my aunt is disabled and she's actually going blind. So she can no longer drive. And so she was so frustrated that she could not jump in the car and get down to Wales to be there for my dad, you know. So there's been a lot of phone calls and things going back and forth with me and her and my sister. And then my sister came to join me yesterday, because she doesn't live local either. She lived in Cardiff. But yeah, it was just, I'm beyond drained. And I think yesterday, in a way, I was kind of grateful that I wasn't in work and then I'd actually went to the doctors, because I was already out of the work scenario. And I think if I had been in work, I probably wouldn't have noticed my phone ringing because it would have been on silent. And I wouldn't have got to that message as quick as I could have done, like I did yesterday. So, you know, I'm quite grateful in a way that I'm ill. It's a bit of a weird thing to say, but you know, I'm resting as much as I can. Hence why I'm still in bed right now. I didn't sleep very well last night, obviously, because of the dramatics of yesterday and not feeling very well and being bunged up and everything else, you know, with the virus and things. So yeah, yesterday was a bit of an interesting day. I'm not taking my foot off the ball. I'm still here. I'm still producing content. Do I feel up to it? No. Do I feel like I could just want to sleep? Yes. But I know the show must go on, as they say. You know, you can't keep using excuses to stop doing things. You know, or you know, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll do that next week, or next month, or next year. Do it now, guys. You know, just within your remit, without putting yourself in danger and others. Sensibly take action. Seek medical advice, of course, you know, and guidance. But please don't just sit there and just let life pass away, you know, pass by, because you never know when your time is up. And that's quite morbid. But I think yesterday, you know, it's just reconfirmed, like I say, you know, that you've got to pursue your dreams. You've got to do what's right for you. Coping with menopause, you're human. You know, your mental health will suffer in a certain way. Your self-esteem will suffer, your confidence, memory, appetite, weight gain, more likely than not weight loss. Your hormones, as I say, they're all over the shop. They will be for quite some time. So I think it's about being kind to yourself, ultimately. Easier said than done, I know. And I know I don't have children, whether that's a good thing or not. But yeah, it does make you look at things in a way that, you know, it puts things into perspective. But I suppose because I've worked already in nursing, I've always had that kind of mindset, and a realistic, I would say, honest outlook on stuff, because dealing with death and people that are really poorly and working in mental health and in general ward situations, you get to see a lot. And I suppose sometimes when you've got family members that are ill, sometimes knowing too much is a bit of a hindrance in a way, because you kind of know what's happening and why. And, you know, yesterday, it is harder when it is your own loved one. It's not to say I don't care about people that I've nursed in the past, don't get me wrong. But it's the emotions, isn't it? It's the attachment that you have to your father. For example, my dad is the one that's currently ill. So although I don't have a strong bond with my father, I am his firstborn. And for as stubborn as he is, um, I don't think he knows he's had a heart attack, but I don't think because of his, how do I say this? He doesn't function the same as I do mentally. His world is a lot different to me. His learning is a lot less than mine. Um, his capacity to understand things is a lot different to me, a lot less than mine. So he knows he's had a heart attack, and he will talk about it now. I know he will, for as long as he's here still. But he won't actually realize that it means actually comes with change as well. It means that you've got to slow down. You've got to be kinder to yourself. Now, my father doesn't work. He is already retired. He is 67. But mentally, he grew up with my grandfather, and he's the youngest of six children. So he has grown up with parents that were a lot older, and his mindset and his thought processes are like my grandfather. That's the kindest way I'm going to say that. And trying to get him to listen to me is very difficult, but that's something I just got to keep going and tackle when I can. So I just wanted to sort of say to you, look, I am here. I've promised I'll do a video every day. I'm still showing up despite feeling rotten and exhausted, emotionally drained in so many ways. But you've got to show up. You still got to be on it. You still got to be in the game, as it were, for yourself. You've got to recognize that you really do have to take action. You can't keep creating excuses. You know, it's not going to get you anywhere. You're still going to be stuck in that same position this time next year. So if you're in a financial rut like I was, do something. You don't have to come and join me in the business at all. If you want to, of course, please comment travel and I'll be interested to help you. I'll be in touch. Just bear with me. Because obviously a few things are up in the air right now, but I will be in touch. But ultimately, if you're struggling, please look into channels. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your finances are like. I don't know if you've got debt or whatever it is you're struggling with, if you are. But there are charities out there that can help set up a payment scheme, a payment plan, a debt management plan. And they don't actually charge you. They don't take money out of you, which some companies do. So I would strongly suggest really research your situation. And if you can get help with a charitable debt management plan site, sorry, something in my eyelash. I would certainly recommend that. Speaking from experience, I have gone through that myself. I'm not affiliated with any charitable company whatsoever. But for example, I use Step Change. I've used Step Change for debt management plan, and they were fantastic. If I ever became a millionaire, they would be somebody that I would want to invest money back into, to give it back as a thank you, to pay it forward, to help them keep going as a business, to help people like myself that have been in debt, struggled. COVID came along and knocked me for six, when I was on my own. And Step Change basically for me, like, they don't know I'm videoing this. They have no idea whatsoever, but they've just been brilliant. And so that's why I'm giving a shout out to them really on YouTube about them, because, they took a lot of pressure off me mentally. When you're trying to pay everyone and you just get the letters keep coming in and you're just thinking, oh my God, I don't have much money to pay everyone and I can't meet the minimum payments because it was getting that bad. That's how bad it was for me, because I'd gone into debt because of COVID, because I was out of work at the time. So I finally did research after speaking to a couple of different companies. One company were great, they were supportive, but they also tried to charge me X amount per month, which I wasn't prepared to pay. Because if I had done that, it would have pushed me back up to 6 years of being in debt instead of 3.5, 4 years. So it does make a big difference if you're going to a company versus a charity that can actually help do the same work, help set up everything for you. Once you provide the information, after they've gone through a debt management plan, they've gone through your earnings, your money coming in, or whatever it is that you get, money per month, versus your bills that have to go out, like your gas, your electric, your council tax, everything. And they put together a structured plan where you will pay them X amount each month, and they will then distribute that money between your debtors that you owe money to, and they don't charge you anything. So, yeah, completely grateful to them. I know this is a bit of going off on a tangent, but if you're struggling financially, is what I'm saying, please look out for opportunities out there. There's got to be something out there that can help you in some way, shape, or form. It's not going to be a quick fix, but it'll get you back on your feet eventually, and you'll see that light at the end of the tunnel sooner than you would have been if you did nothing at all. Instead of just like letting it swamp you, bury your head, as it were, in the sand. So please look at opportunities online. Google it. If you're watching me, you're online. It means you get access to the internet. If you're near a library, for example, they have computers that you can actually use. If you want to properly look at something on a computer and you don't own one, go to your local library. Ask if you can book a slot with a library, with a computer system or computer that you can actually utilize in the library itself. You'd be surprised what you can actually access. I know not everyone is able to, but if you are in a position to get to a library where there's computers that you can actually, with the library themselves, actually book a time slot so you can use for like a half hour, an hour, whatever they do there. It's worth it. It's worth doing your research. It's worth, um, like, I'm old school, right? So as much as I don't want to keep printing things out on paper because of trees, environment, costs, everything, sometimes if I'm doing a report and it's stuff that I need to look at, I need to print it out. I need to physically get it onto paper so I can get my highlighter pens and I can highlight things off and I can tick things off. And I use a ruler, to keep my level on the paper. So if I'm looking at a spreadsheet, for example, and it's got information, figures, whatever, I can use that ruler to guide my eyes into where I am currently, to keep track of where I am. So I don't waste time repeating or duplicating anything or getting confused and lost at what I was last looking at. Because you also find that with the menopause, your concentration is hard, to have. You're not able to concentrate like you used to, and it helps keep you focused. And yeah, I know I'm waffling a bit today. My head's all over the shop again, especially with the recent event in the last 24 hours. But yeah, definitely look and see what's out there, guys. What resources are out there? I know my energy levels aren't as high as they normally are, but I think understandably so after not being well and having a major shock of my father, being rushed to hospital yesterday is a bit of a blow, but he's there in the right place at the moment, so we should see what happens next and whether or not he'll go into surgery again soon. But on that note, guys, I do appreciate you being here as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Grateful as always for you being here. So thank you for being here. Please subscribe. I know I'm repeating myself. I don't know where I'm coming to go in right now, but please subscribe if you haven't. Please help grow this channel and give it a like as well. And if you can get other friends, family members to do the same, I would be very, very grateful. And also give me a shout out. Where are you in the world? Where are you watching from? And why did you watch? Or why did you find me? Or how did you find me? And yeah, I would just love to know more. It'd be great to know where you are from as a community. That's what it's all about, is growing a community for not just myself, but for all of you as well that are here. So thank you. On that note, no, I can't speak. On that note, guys, I shall make a move for today and get ready now to go to the hospital to see my dad. So I will be back tomorrow and I'll keep you posted. Take care. Stay safe. Bye for now.